Right now, though, let's turn our attention to the help that hasn't yet been given to those, or many of them, on very low incomes indeed. Let's talk to Miatta Fahnbulleh. She's Chief Executive of the New Economics Foundation think tank and joins us now. Good morning to you, Miatta.
Good morning.
Good morning. Now, there's been a lot of help for businesses announced, a lot of help for mortgage owners, mortgage holders, so 3-month mortgage holiday, and immediately the cry up went really very predictably and understandably yesterday, and we understand there are going to be more announcements today and tomorrow as well, about what about the people who weren't given help yesterday? What about people who rent? What about those who are self-employed? What about those needing employment protection? And in particular, statutory sick pay. A lot of people could be off sick, a lot of people being told to isolate themselves because of fears they could infect others or be infected by others, looking at living on just £94 a week. Not many people can pay their rent or their mortgage on that, are there?
Absolutely. So, I think the scale of the kind of economic impact of this is starting to dawn, and fair play to the Johnson. I think yesterday was a big intervention with big commitment to try and support businesses, which I think has to be welcomed and was absolutely the right move. But he needs to provide an equally bold response for families that will be hit by this. And if you imagine that many families up and down the country that have huge amounts of savings and they're living hand to mouth, and so whether they're having to self-isolate for 2 weeks at a time at £94 a week, or they're facing job losses, because I think the prospect of that is absolutely possible and looking increasingly certain. Families are going to need support, families are going to need protection, and so the Chancellor is going to have to respond. And, the simple things you could do is extend statutory sick pay to self-employed people, as well as those low-paid workers that are earning less than £118 a week, but currently are not eligible for statutory sick pay, and he could look to hike it, treble it. And that would start getting us to the kind of magnitude of income that we need. But in addition to that, you must think about income support, because many people are going to see a big cut to their wages, or they might lose their wages altogether. And our current welfare system under universal credit is just not fit for purpose.
Yeah.
So the government's going to have to do something there.
And that's the reality, isn't it? And we know it's statutory sick pay an awful lot less than it is in many other comparable countries, bearing in mind, again, a lot of those countries pay a heck of a lot more tax to fund those sort of systems. Perhaps we have a wake-up call, not just as a government priorities, but our priorities as taxpayers as well. It does seem to me at the moment there's a lot of focus from the government, and perhaps understandably this right now, in keeping businesses afloat. Look, there's no point helping individuals if all the businesses go under. We all understand that. But there's going to have to be a lot more focus on the individuals who are individually facing problems with their income just drying up overnight. Those who are self-employed, those who are just losing work. We know Carphone Warehouse yesterday, Laura Ashley. It's going to be business after business after business. We've been speaking to the representatives of the hospitality sector in the last few minutes, telling us about how tough times are for them. And a lot of these people, crucially, they aren't people who will have a mortgage they can get a holiday from. They aren't people who've got savings, who perhaps got partners who can help support them, who've got perhaps a staff job somewhere that's more reliable and safe. There'll be a lot of those will be younger people in very precarious work, renting, living week to week, month to month without savings.
Completely. So I think the government's going to have to address the cost of living, and the obvious, so I think the holiday on mortgage payments was very welcome, although there will be a question depending on how long the crisis lasts, whether 3 months is nearly enough. But what about renters? We've got millions of renters in this country, particularly young people, and the government is going to have to find a way to support them, as well as support on utility bills. So,
yes.
The question in the government's head is that a lot of people are now going to be put in a really precarious financial position, and it's not just those that are least well off. This is going to span huge proportions of our society, and so it's got to help them both in terms of income, but it's also got to help them in terms of the essential cost of living, which are housing costs, council tax, and utility bills. And if it can begin to do something there, it gives people a fighting shot. And the support to businesses is good, but even businesses are saying, our biggest costs are our wage costs, and we cannot borrow month on month, even at favourable rates from the government, when we don't know how long this is going to stretch.
Yeah.
in order to pay our workers. So you've got to do something to help people whose income is going to be affected.
Absolutely. Miatta Fahnbulleh, thank you very much indeed. She's Chief Executive of the New Economics Foundation.